Coming up on the Sports Desk, Elko moves into their 2014 home, and on night number 1, they're the rowdy roommate shaking things up. It's an ending like only the El Camino Warriors can do. Only question is, are they on the happy side of the big play finish? On the volleyball court, the ladies in blue offer their own hometown entertainment. An unblemished first week and an impressive start to the season has the Warriors already shooting for a way to go deeper into the postseason than in 2013. Plus, the Knights are no strangers to record-setting performances. We meet some Hall of Fame inductees on a campus that's much more than just a basketball school. All that plus scores and updates from Torrance's prep scene starting right now. How's it going, Torrance? Always good to see you. Welcome to another week on the Sports Desk. I'm your host, Wan Hernandez. Our first story of the week takes place just outside of Torrance. It was years in the making, and it finally came to us. The El Camino Warriors' first home game away from historic Murdoch Stadium. With building of the new Warriors facility underway, Redondo High is their home away from home this fall. So, to Seahawks Stadium we go. The Elko cheerleaders pumping up the crowd as the Warriors take on Ventura College. Early in the first, no score. Joey Notch drops back and finds Devontae Jenkins wide open in the back of the end zone for the TD. Elko up on top 7-0. Joey Notch would throw for over 300 yards on the day. Second quarter now, Wan Hernandez in behind center. He gets picked off by Mike Serino, and that pick would prove to be costly for the Warriors. Ensuing possession for Ventura. Jalen Brady finds Josh Holderfield in the back of the end zone. Ventura College takes a 10-7 lead with plenty of time in the second. Second quarter, Warriors answering back. Fourth down for Elko. Broseph Notch back in. He finds tight end Colin Hindle for the score. The Warriors up 14-10. Up to the fourth quarter now. Elko's going to have a kick blocked, and the Pirates going to return it all the way for the score. Ventura running away with it, 27-14 in the fourth. But Elko making a little comeback now. Down just 27-21. Elko running back Kendall Sparks runs it in for the go-ahead score. He's going to give us a little Johnny Money Manziel there. The Warriors up now 28-27. Ensuing kickoff, Paul Harris returns this kick all the way to the house. VC takes the lead right back, 33-28, with just under 4 to go. A minute and 9 seconds left. Elko marches down the field, sets up a huge 4th and 11. Joey Notch finds Nicky Roos in the back of the end zone. But did he hang on? The refs say he didn't. Roos says he did. Well, let's take another look. Roos here making the grab. He's clearly got possession, but as he comes down, he loses control of the ball. Roos and the rest of the Warriors don't like it, but the call is the call. Let's hear from Coach Featherstone after this.
Shins up. You're a good football team. You're a good football team. Could you be a great one? Absolutely. No doubt in my mind. There are a whole bunch of young kids that have grown up the last 2 weeks. Sophomore guys are playing real hard. They're practicing very hard, guys. I see guys working hard in the weights. Good things are going to happen to good people. The harder you work, the luckier you're going to get. But that was just their turn tonight, wasn't it? I'm sure they worked as hard as you did. They just happened to get the right time, the right place. We were real close to turning that right around. When you get on the bus, I want you just to relax. Go to sleep. Yeah. Think about what you did. Ask yourself what you could have done. And I want you to go home. There's no partying tonight. Okay?
Joey Notch puts up a big fantasy football day with 348 yards passing and 3 TDs. Feather's still going with his QB duo with Wan Hernandez adding another 72 yards through the air and 1 INT for the Warriors. Those kinds of offensive numbers are what we talked about seeing the Warriors get back to before the season. Our Colin Kushner has the story on how the Warriors assessed the tough loss.
We come back on Monday. We got to be ready to have a great practice.
It's a brand new season of Elko football, and with that comes new faces and a temporary new home at Redondo Union High School, while the new El Camino Stadium is being built.
So we got to put this behind us as soon as possible.
Sure, the Warriors didn't exactly get the results they were hoping for in their first game at their surrogate home, but despite the loss, the players are still looking forward to playing at Seahawks Stadium.
It feels good, everybody loved Murdoch at Elko. It was a great stadium, but here we love this place. It's still local. Sometimes it's even more local for some people. So it's good. We're going to take good care of it, and we have fun playing on this field.
Plenty of fans packed the house for the Warriors home opener, and Coach Featherstone hopes to get some of the local residents to come out and enjoy some Saturday afternoon college football.
I'm hoping to send a letter maybe to all the people and say, look, thanks for you guys coming, and if you weren't there, come give us. We'd love to have your support. So I want some of the local people to get involved with JC football. I'd love to see them come to all of our home games here. Absolutely. And cheer us on.
A temporary new home and a team on the rebound from an injury-riddled 2013 season, Elko is poised to get back to that winning tradition. From Redondo Union High School, this is Colin Kushner reporting for the Sports Desk.
Into the prep world, the early season heavy hitters look to be the West Warriors after their home opener win over Culver City. A solid defensive showing was overshadowed in the stat line by Brett Ogie's 5-touchdown night. This time around, though, the D completely stole the show. The Warrior defense allows just 2 more passing yards in week 2 than they did points in week 1. That effort was fueled by Joey Johnson's 2 INTs, helping convince Inglewood to stick with the run exclusively. Whether that was the Sentinels' game plan or the Warriors scared them from throwing the ball doesn't really matter because it all leads up to a 27-6 West victory. Inglewood put together a 79-yard drive that lasted almost 8 minutes, chewing up that clock with the run game for their sole score of the game. The Warrior D allowed next to nothing the rest of the night. North strayed away from home for the first time this fall, handing Beverly Hills a 48-0 thumping. Before the season started, we asked Todd Croce what would surprise everybody about this year's squad. He said, believe it or not, our defense may be our strength this year. So far, that's looking like the case. The Saxons get their first shutout of the season. It's impressive enough to move the Saxons into the number 4 power ranking in the Daily Breeze's top 10. 1 spot up from last week and 1 spot behind Crosstown Pioneer League rival West Torrance. The Tartars suffered a heartbreaker of a loss in week 1, but they learned to love again real quick. Defeating Morningside 35-20, Tyree Harris racked up a second 100-plus yard game. A few weeks ago, we asked Rock Hollis if his Tartars would be moving the ball through the air more this season. Well, they may not need to. Harris with 5 rushing TDs and averaging just under 5.8 yards a carry so far this season. Not too shabby. Torrance's defense putting Hollis on the right side of his fear of throwing the ball, picking off 4 Morningside passes in this one to lead Torrance to their first win of the season. All right, everybody, coming up, Bishop Montgomery High honors some of their greatest from the gridiron and the diamond. In the meantime, the football team hopes to cap the night off with a night win.
I remember the moment clearly.
I'll never forget that moment.
As long as I live.
I realized at that moment, when we first saw the damage, these people really needed us. And I was going to make a difference, right here in my community. Together with local responders, we cleared trees and collapsed walls. We had to get to the family trapped beneath. As a citizen soldier, I made a difference.
Be there for your community at NationalGuard.com.
Trash, cigarette butts, grass clippings, leaves, and pet waste in the gutter are all potential sources of stormwater pollution. Sweep it up, don't wash it down. RecycleTorrance.org. Whenever you change your used motor oil and filter, make sure to recycle them. It's good for the environment and it's good for you. Earn up to 40 cents per gallon by recycling your used motor oil. RecycleTorrance.org.
something's not right.
My first symptoms were
constant tingling in my toes.
Had double vision. They said you have multiple sclerosis.
Kind of had to get a grasp on reality.
I had to adapt and change very rapidly.
I had to learn how to drive with my hands. Yeah, that was interesting.
A symptom may cause you not to be able to do that anymore. And at one point, I wasn't able to do any of those.
Since I've been cycling, it's definitely helped my walking.
It's a fantastic opportunity to be working together with a common goal of curing MS, and sharing is the key.
Welcome back. In the first 2 weeks of their football season, the Bishop Montgomery Knights had tallied a total of 1 offensive score. With the help of a stingy defense in week 2, that's actually been enough to earn the Knights a 1-1 record. But the question for Ed Hodgkiss' squad remains, how long can that defense hold the bend but don't break mentality? Week 3, a matchup with the Pioneer League's Loosinger. The Knights are coming off a 7-0 shutout win last week against Westchester. Can they do it again? Bishop going for it on 4th and 1 here in the first quarter. Austin Garvey hands off to Carter London, takes 28 yards to the house, and the Knights go up 7-0 early in the first. Second quarter, still the same score. Nice defense on point. Adrian Galera gets stuffed for a loss by Anthony Beza and company. This would be the strong points for the Knights all game. Later in the drive, the Knights still clinging to a 1-touchdown lead. Edson Santos finds Galera, who rumbles his way in for the score. The Olympians would kick a field goal to end the half. They go up 9-7. Fourth quarter now, Knights still down by 2. 4th and 3 for Loosinger, and the penalty flags go flying for the offsides. Automatic first down, Olympians. Loosinger would run out the clock. Bishop falls in heartbreaking fashion at home, 9-7. Bishop endures that close loss. They add just 1 more touchdown to bring their 2014 total up to 2. But rather than the doom and gloom over the lack of offensive output after the game, the Knights looked at the positive. Their D's only allowed 9 points in the last 8 quarters of football. Colin Kushner has that story for you.
It was a Hall of Fame game for the Bishop Montgomery Knights, who fell in a nail-biter to Loosinger, where they missed key opportunities to come out with the W.
The opportunities were there. I was happy about that. We just gotta make them when they're there. So I'm encouraged. I think we have a great team that's there. It just hasn't found its stride yet.
Before the season began, Coach Hodgkiss was very excited about his defensive group, which has only allowed 9 points the last 2 games.
Yeah, the defense is playing great for us. We have a lot of our upperclassmen are on defense. Our defensive coordinator, Chris Long, does a great job with them. So they're running to the ball, making plays. I'm real happy with the way they played.
Making our tackles, staying squared up. We have a really good defensive coach, and he hustles us hard.
We all know the old saying in sports that defense wins championships. And the Knights' defensive group has been the anchor of a team that still has plenty to work on as they continue on throughout the season.
I think we need to have a little more communication. I think we need to work together as a team better and just all around just improve our skills, focus on the basics, just keep playing.
From Bishop Montgomery High School, this is Colin Kushner reporting for the Sports Desk.
The Knights did have plenty to celebrate in spite of that Week 3 loss. They honored 4 individuals in the 1975 baseball team for their 4th annual Hall of Fame class induction ceremony. Chuck Bongard, Ed Gillis, Patty Froelich-Gasso, Chrissy Zartman, and the 1975 baseball team were all enshrined on Friday night before and during the varsity football game. Ed Gillis, a football and track athlete for the Knights in the mid-'60s, said that coming back to his alma mater and being inducted into the Hall of Fame was a great achievement.
It's a tremendous honor for me, plus my teammates, because whatever we did on the field, we did together. And I felt like it's, we're just family, one unit, and it was just a great honor.
South High collected their 2nd win of the season. A year ago, the Spartans got their 2nd win less than a week before Halloween, so things on that campus looking up in 2014. From the looks of it, the running game is what's righted the ship so far. 5 rushing TDs between Vinny Biazovic and Gabe Zuniga, and more than 300 yards on the ground from the Spartan offense. One more road game before coming home to face former Pioneer League rivals El Segundo. By then, we'll see how real this Spartan squad is going into league play in Week 6 against Torrance. All right, coming up, we hit the hardwood for the first time this fall. El Camino Volleyball entered the week with a solid hot streak, their first loss of the season, even though it may not be a loss at all.
Hey, Carl, what's with the lights? Blow a fuse or something?
I wish. Ugh, the electric bills here.
You know, there's a better way to lower your bill than sitting in the dark and hoping for the best.
What, unplug the refrigerator?
No, Edison Smart Connect is coming. It's a new way to manage your electric consumption, and it could help you lower your electric bills. It'll all start when Southern California Edison replaces our old meters with a new Edison Smart Connect meter. Now, the new meter will send data to your personal online dashboard at SCE.com, where you'll be able to see how much electricity you're using every day, by the hour. By taking charge of your electricity usage through Edison Smart Connect programs like Save Power Days and Budget Assistant, you'll waste less electricity, save money, and help the environment. So you'll never have a surprise at the end of the month with Edison Smart Connect.
Ooh, I think his wife just saw the electric bill.
Why wait? Use my account on SCE.com today. You can also learn about all the other great programs SCE has, so we can all save energy, money, and the environment.
Think you found every hazard out here today? Think again. The spot you missed could be a killer. That spot on your skin could be skin cancer. If you're a man over 50, you're in a group most likely to develop skin cancer, including melanoma, the kind that kills one person every hour. That's why your best shot is to check for a spot. It's easy. Follow through and check your skin. Go to spotskincancer.org to find out how. A message from the American Academy of Dermatology.
Hi, welcome back. While we've pondered and analyzed who's going to stand out above the rest on the football field through the early weeks of fall, one thing in Torrance is always constant. The ladies at El Camino College will continue to win on the volleyball court. In week 1, the Warriors played 3 matches and won every single set. An undefeated season. Colin Kushner has the update on their march into week 2.
The Warriors volleyball squad has been on a roll this season, but even after a 3-1 victory over College of the Canyons, the players felt like they weren't playing with their usual energy.
We did a good job. It's just our energy was very low, and that really made a difference. And we just weren't playing like we normally do every day.
We definitely started off very slow in the beginning. I think one of our bad habits is that we tend to see how the other team is rather than starting off strong in the beginning. But I think as the match progressed, I think we definitely picked up our energy, which has helped us gain our momentum.
El Camino has been on fire lately, improving to 4-0 on the season and only losing 1 set out of those 4 games they've played so far. But Coach Pattison sees this as a good learning experience.
You learn a lot more when you lose than when you win. We've had some good matches, but I think this is probably the strongest team we've faced yet, so it's really a learning experience and good for us.
Elko finished up last season falling in the second round of the SoCal Regional Playoffs, but this season, Coach Pattison and company look to take their game to the next level.
We have a really good group of returners, so they had a lot of playing experience. I think our strengths will be defense and ball control. So if we can get our freshmen playing a little bit better, then I think that will help us tremendously. If we can go further, just depends how tough we are, how gutsy we are. I'd like to think we can do it.
Defense is going to be very key. I think if we have good defense, I think we can go very far. So I definitely can't wait to see what happens. Defense is definitely going to be a big part of it.
The fans were rocking in the home opener for the Warriors, but for a team that is just starting off the 2014 campaign, so far they are looking poised for another deep playoff run this season. From El Camino College, this is Colin Kushner reporting for the Sports Desk.
The Warriors suffer their first loss in a set in that home opener. That first set loss sparks 15 consecutive set wins, spreading into a weekend at the Cerritos College tourney. They eventually run into Cypress College in the championship game, losing in 5 sets, 3-2. Darlene Lee scooped up 36 digs for the Warriors in that championship matchup, but it wasn't enough to keep the Warriors from dropping the final 3 consecutive sets in that championship game. Before we say farewell for the day, time to pass along how you can get in touch with the Sports Desk anytime. We're always just an email away when you have a great story idea, you want to invite us out to a game, or you just feel like saying hi. All right, everybody, that wraps it up this week. We will see you next time.